Hey everyone, this is Tom Desmond of Apricot Law with a detailed analysis of your top local competitors for the phrase San Antonio car accident lawyers. As you know, being ranked in the top 3, which is right here for that phrase, is going to bring in a lot of car accident cases. This video is going to be focused on the 2 most important elements, which are relevance and authority of these top sites, so you can see exactly how they got into these spots here, and more importantly, how to outrank them and get those phone calls and cases. If you're on our website, you can look over to the sidebar, and there's 2 short videos there. There's a proof video of some of our ranking clients and an education video in case some of the information that I share here needs a little further explanation. Also, right above the video, you will see there's an offer for a free website audit video shot by me. Take advantage of that. It's totally free, no strings. I will analyze your website, shoot a video sort of like you're looking over my shoulder, and I'll point out all the things that are happening with your backlinks and set you up to win online. I'll teach you how to set up your website on site perfectly so you can be positioned to win and get some cases. So, okay, let's just jump in. Here's San Antonio car accident lawyers is the phrase. This is AdWords. As we know, pay-per-click, it's a very low, high bounce rate, meaning it's a big waste of money. This is Maps, which is valuable, but it's going to be disappearing soon, so I won't talk about that. This is the winner circle, 1, 2, and 3. And I want to call your attention to this plugin that I have here. It's an analytic plugin, and this is where we spend all of our time analyzing and erasing law firm websites. So it's what I want to talk about are these numbers. Now think of these numbers like strength meters or health meters or something. And there's two things to know about them. There you go from 1 to 100, the ones I'm going to talk about today, 100 being the highest. And then the second thing is these numbers come from backlinks. So if you have a lot of relevant, authoritative, and trustworthy websites linking into your website, these numbers will increase. And when the numbers increase, your rankings increase, right? It's a science. It's not magic. It's numbers, and it's these numbers. So that's what I'm going to talk about. So I actually really like seeing FindLaw in the number 1 spot because I know I can outrank them with relevance. Now, there's 2 things: is relevance and authority. Authority is strength, and which deals with backlinks. You're not going to beat FindLaw with backlinks because it's a huge company and all of their clients link to them, and it's relevant. But you can beat them with relevant. Their websites are relevant, linking in obviously because they're law firms. But you can beat them with relevance, and that means the content on the page is really not helpful for anybody. It's just a bunch of headshots, and Google would much rather promote a website that provides good information. That's Google's MO. It's an information highway, and this is just headshots. So if you look in other major markets, you will not see FindLaw up there because law firms are investing money in good SEO and good content, and FindLaw gets pushed out of the box. So I'm not going to talk about this. I'll talk about this website and maybe the number 4, and we'll take it from there. So let's talk about these numbers. This TF, this is trust flow, and it really is based on trust. The number is from 1 to 100, and a 25 out of 100 is a little on the low side for this market in San Antonio. But the links coming into the website are law related. So trust means, it's a gauge of how trustworthy those websites that are linking into this website are and what the relevance score of those websites. So that's a 25. Here's another number that I want to point out, Moz page authority. Think of it like page rank, but it's page authority. And it's the actual page that's ranking. So a PA of 30 is, again, kind of on the low side for this market. I would expect it to be at least in the high 30s. Domain authority of 37. The links, this means this little tool here is Ahrefs, and this says that there are 6,420 links pointing into this website as a whole, and this little 26 means this page that's ranking has 26 links coming into it. and RD is referring domains. And so there's 365 referring domains linking to this website, which means there's 365 different websites that have a link in them pointing into this website. So these numbers are pretty good. Let's compare it to the number 3, the site in the number 3 spot. Now, this site has much better authority numbers. TrustFlow 44, they're all law and society links, really nice. And the page authority of 42, again, that's pretty strong, much because there's a lot more links. TrustFlow really comes from the topic of the websites. So this is very high topic flow. And this page authority comes from the sheer number of links and the authority of those websites. So there's a lot of links coming into this website, pushing up that page authority. The main difference between these two comes down to on-page SEO, which I like to call the relevance. It's what's Google's looking for, a relevant page to promote. Now, this website is much weaker than this website, but it's above it because the page is more relevant. Notice that the phrase San Antonio Car Accident Lawyers is in the title, and you can see it here in the URL. It has some of the keywords in there. This website does not have that on page, right? This is the home page that's ranking. So I'll show you a quick gander at that. And what I'm talking about with this tool, Moz, I'll point out the most important SEO elements of a page. So here's the URL. It's not even that sharp, and I'll show you what I mean. The URL, there's a folder here that is, I'll make it bigger so you can see it. The folder, get rid of this, is personal injury attorneys. And then within that folder, there's their motor vehicle accidents page. That page has a page title that starts with the firm's name, and then it has car accident attorneys, and it also has San Antonio. So it's fairly relevant for the search. The meta description is not is not a ranking factor anymore, but they chose to put those keywords in there, and they have, their call to action, which is smart. Meta keywords, they left blank. It's no longer a ranking factor. And here's their H1 tag. Now the H1 they have a couple of H1s. Here's one of their H1 tags here. So you can see this tool pulled it from the header. And then here's their H2 tags. Now H2 tags should be more like article style headers. They lead the reader down the page. There's synonyms, which they did. They used car wreck instead of car accident. But there should also be other commonly searched phrases. And I'll show you what I mean with one of our clients. The next thing I want to do is quickly go down the page to see how much other relevant information they're offering their readers. I don't see anything. Here we go. Here's their set of links. So there's truck accidents, pedestrian, and they seem to be car accident related. So that's good. T-bone accidents, and they seem to have their folders set up properly. So they have their personal injury attorney folder here. They have, you see what I'm highlighting at the top here? That's their motor vehicle page. And then within that page, the page becomes a folder, and they have their T-bone accidents. And the page title and the H1 are San Antonio T-bone accident injury lawyer. And here's their custom sidebar. Not bad. Site is in the top 3. I think it's number 2 because, as we saw earlier, it's not really that strong. It doesn't have a lot of links. So Google is putting it in the spot above this website, which is stronger than it because it has more relevant information and it's easy to get to it. Let's take a look at this website, which is definitely a stronger website. It's just not as clean. And there is a sidebar here. There's one other thing I want to check. But this sidebar has lots of non-car accident related information. So it wouldn't be hard to restructure this website to jump up into the top spots. And I bet this website would also jump above the FindLaw site if they made some changes. And and reorganized their content and redid their on-site SEO, because the authority of this site is strong, but it's not organized properly. As you can see, the society over here on the right, I'll make it bigger, is a 44. There's a ton of backlinks coming into the site. The numbers are great. The page authority is 35. That's fantastic. Well, it's not fantastic. It's good. The page authority is very good. But on their car accident page, there's dog bite, there's construction, mesothelioma. There's a lot of great personal injury phrases here, but there's even DWI and criminal law. That's the stuff that's hurting them. And it hurts them in a couple of ways, because people come onto the site and they see DWI and criminal, and they think, does this guy really focus on car accidents, right? Let me show you an example of how this should be set up. This is our client, and we do the same thing for all of our clients. Salt Lake City car accident lawyer. Here he is in the number 1 spot. And look what we did. We even got above maps, which everybody wants to do, right? You think you can't do it, but it can be done. And we did it. And he's in the number 2 spot. So we've taken up 2 spots in this competitive market with his website. And I'll show you exactly how he did it. And his numbers are good. You know, this is an internal page, and it's, you can see these are purple here. So our link building is excellent, and they're all law related links. So that's good. But look what we did. And I'll try to go through this as quickly as possible. That's the phrase. Exactly. That's his URL. And then his page title matches the URL perfectly. There's a call to action in the URL, in the page title. His meta description has a very clear call to action. It is an interesting description to read. His H1 tag, this is not rocket science, but you'd be surprised how I don't see this as often as it should. H1 matches the phrase, and look at his H2 tags. This is interesting. So here's a synonym, autorec, and then look at these other commonly searched phrases: negligence, proof negligence, evidence. We've got the word claim in there. We got the word court in there. And here's the phrase again, Salt Lake City car accident lawyer. So that's how you set up your H2 tags. Now, even more importantly than those most basic SEO components are these pages that we've added into his custom sidebar. They're all car accident related. And look how many there are. So this could be one of the most powerful things you can do for your law firm, is provide relevant information on your website that can be easily reached by someone who's been in a car accident. And this is how you do it. So someone has been in a car accident in Salt Lake City. This is ranked number 1. They come on the page and they think, wow, this is a hub of information. They start clicking around and they see broken bone. They've suffered a broken bone. So of course they're going to click on that. Now what happens is Google sees that click, and it keeps your bounce rate down. The longer people stay on your site, the more, the easier it is to rank the site, because Google sees it as a valuable place to promote. And then it does another thing. They're reading content that suits them perfectly. You start to appear to be a trusted advisor. And then they start clicking around some more, like, oh, this is interesting. And this is not thin content. This is well-written content by professional writers that are in-house. And they think, oh, questions. What questions do I have? Oh, is a teenager involved in the accident? Let me see if there's anything on this page that pertains to me or my situation. Everyone's trying to look for a way to, beat the insurance company or get a larger settlement, right? So if you provide information, you're gonna get that phone call. Now, the other thing that's interesting about creating lots of content with long tail phrases is you provide many other avenues for your ideal clients to find you. So I just searched this H1 tag, Salt Lake City broken bone car accident lawyer. So anytime you search anything in Salt Lake City with the phrase car accident or anything about a broken bone, this is what happens. You pop up in the number 1 spot, the number 2 spot, number 3 spot, and maybe again somewhere else. So he's taken up the top 3 spots for a broken bone car accident issue in Salt Lake City. So there's a lot of benefits to setting up your on-page properly. So that, because I said I was going to point out, show you the way to set up your website, that was that example. So and we do that for all of our clients. Let's go back and see if there's anything else interesting that I can point out with regard to your top competitors. Let's look at this site. So in the number 4 site, here's a website that looks to be set up properly, but they do not have a lot of strong backlinks. So I'll give it a quick click here. We'll take a quick look. Looks like a pretty clean website. They have some links pointing to relevant car accident phrases, insurance, pedestrian, drunk driving. Those are all relevant. That's great. Then they have some oil rig and other links down here, which they should get rid of because it wastes link juice and it could scare the reader away. This is not a lot. There's not a lot of content on this page, so that could be why it's only in the 4th or 5th spot. And there isn't a lot of relevant information. There's only 6 pages that link from the car accident page, but the on-site stuff is set up properly. So you can see, the URL is under-optimized, but the page title, the phrase is in there perfectly. This is over-optimized. You shouldn't put car accident attorneys and auto accident lawyer in the same title. Meta doesn't matter. His H1 is perfect. So there's a couple of things in place. Let's take a look at those authority numbers, because this site is not a hard site to outrank, and it's in a pretty good position. So it's good news for you. Trust flow is pretty low, 14 and 18. Citation flow is okay. Not a lot of links going to the home page, only 1,900. Only 59 links coming into this page. So that's not such a bad number. I've seen less than that. Then again, it's not about the number. It's about the authority and the trust flow of those numbers, of those links. It's society, but it's not society and law. It's society and religion, the topics of those links coming into this page. So there's an opportunity to jump up because this is not perfectly optimized. These are not law-related links pointing into this page. And the page authority is a 32, which is pretty good. But even with a site that is not set up properly in this market, look at this number here, AdWords traffic cost. This is actually AdWords traffic value, because he would have to spend $21,000 a month with AdWords to get the traffic that he's getting organically. So most SEO campaigns that we do are in the $5,000 and $6,000 a month range. You easily get a way better return on your investment with organic SEO than you would with, and this is proof right here, with pay-per-click, because this is what you have to spend to get the same traffic organically. Let's see who's in some of the lower spots, the low-hanging fruit. And you can see these numbers start to drop off drastically here. In the number 5 spot, there aren't even any law-related links pointing into the site. The page authority is a 1. There's no authority. Trust flow is very low. It's 5. But the reason he's up there is because he has an exact match domain. He has his on-site set up. The whole site is probably dedicated to San Antonio car accident phrases, but this won't stay here that long. Wayne Wright, I'm sure you know this website, used to be in the number 1 spot, or used to be very high. It's starting to drop off. This is an old website, so it may continue to fall off. However, some of the authority numbers the trust flow is pretty decent. This page authority is very low. I hope I'm not rambling too much. I'm just trying to go through this so you can see because most attorneys that I talk to tons of them, they don't really know these tools. So I thought it might be interesting for you to actually see these numbers. Now this site has good numbers, and it has San Antonio in the homepage title. San Antonio car accident lawyer in the homepage title. I'd have to look a little deeper to see why this site is not higher. It could have Trustflow is 49, very good. Only 20 referring domains. That's why there's not a lot of different websites linking into this website. So that's why that one is lower on the page. Well, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to call me, and definitely take advantage of that free website audit video. Hit the red button, put your website address in there and your phone number and name. You'll get a video from me in about 24 hours. It'll be like 20 minutes long, and you can hang on to it and watch as many times as you want. And again, there's no strings. It's totally free. It's just good information to help you figure out what you really need and what you really want. Okay, all the best to you, and take care.